And we are live, I hope.
I'm pretty sure we'll have. Hey guys, welcome back to the stream. This is going to be round 2. We have for our feature match. Sorry, let me see the names really quick. We have
Valorj versus Shed.
Thank you. We have Valorj versus Shed. I'm Veveil, and I'm casting with Eyze.
Yep. And we're about to get right in.
Yeah. All right. So the matchup is Felnscar. It's Felnscar Midrange versus Elysian Shimmerpack, I believe.
Shimmer Prince. He runs one Shimmer and he goes to a more aggressive build with his false Prince.
Okay, that's fair. So it's still Shimmerpack, but I like the distinction. It's a good one. All right, so we got a turn 1 initiate ascent. Always fun. I wonder, does he go for
into a classic turn 1? I would suffocate, honestly.
I don't think he's no. It's not obvious at all. He has Varus favor.
Fair enough.
Also, most 3-drops that the Shimmer deck plays or Shimmerpack deck plays do not really swing the game in like a very substantial way. It's usually just like Amber Acolyte, so you can afford to wait. Here, it's Tillier's favored because his Ageless Mentor is very poor right now.
So here is a very interesting scenario. If you Varus favor the initiate, the false prince actually gets you.
It does, but
which is why
he does have, actually. He's going to suffocate. This is a really strong play by Shed actually. So, yes, he has access to Valorj's deck list, so he knows that false prince is a very threatening card. Now, honestly though, even if he had made the level 0 play, which is just cast Varus favor on the initiate ascent, he still doesn't get punished too hard. Also, yeah, I saw that. Valorj with the Reinarch plays. It took himself off false prince. I don't know how substantial that is. Like, obviously a little embarrassing, but
I don't think that's like mattered too much, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the false swing, because the false prince is just gonna get picked off by Varus favor anyways, so it's just more of like a blooper than anything else. There's a second suffocate. Oh yeah, Steward of the Past is dominant on this board.
Oh, the Steward is basically the strongest card available for this matchup, I think.
You really think so? I just mean like this board state. I feel like it's kind of mopey. Like, I don't know.
It blocks super well.
I guess, but like he still goes over. I mean, I guess I need to pull up the deck list because he still goes over the top of this with like Shimmerpack and Scouting Party and whatnot, right?
Yeah. There's only one Shimmerpack in Valorj's list, which is why it's super hard for him to get in.
I see. So how many Scouting Parties is he running now?
He's still running the full 4 Scouting Parties, but like Scouting Party has always been like mid-range decks in general because Scouting Party just goes wide.
No, that's fair. He's a main deck Lumen Defender as well. That's interesting.
The Lumen's honestly for like aggressive decks because.
Oh yeah, no, I understand. It's when the card is good, it's one of the best cards in the game. I'm just saying, it's a common sideboard card, but.
Interesting to use Torch instead of favor.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I'm not really sure what to make of that at all, actually.
Yeah,
I guess Yeah, I don't like that play, actually. I'm not even... I'm actually like, I was like, oh, let me say something insightful about it. I'm like, no, that's just a bad play. I don't know. Like, I guess we shouldn't say it like that. That's unprofessional. But still, I mean, like, I don't know. I guess he saves his mana, but, his deck is largely reactive. Like, what is he going to top deck that rewards him for torching there?
Yeah. I think instead of saying bad, we say, like, suboptimal because it's... Or not even suboptimal. I guess it's just like it's not the choice we would have made.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. But honestly, we shouldn't talk about what we'd say because we're still live. So anyways, for the game, you have a pretty straightforward race happening. Yeah, and Umbran Reaper is kind of a nut high when you're racing, so things are not looking. It's interesting.
On the opposite end, the Lumen Defender is really good at racing as well. Like as an anti-race card as well.
Yeah, actually, so while it looks like Shed is, I would put Shed in the driver's seat for now. Things are going to swing back really bad here because either Lumen Defender or Sandstorm Titan are both backbreaking plays, and his hand is just terribly equipped to answer either one.
Sandstorm Titan would be the Lumen Defender. Actually, I think I actually would have. I like the Lumen Defender because if you place Sandstorm Titan into 3 unknown cards, or like after draw 4 unknown cards, like a Sandstorm Titan being blown out by a Death Strike, it would be like super backbreaking.
Yeah, he made the conservative play. He has to, like, I would not assume my opponent is sitting on suffocate Varus favor, That's like basically as good as it gets for you because those cards don't really do anything. So.
Yeah.
So here we're gonna see, the terror of ladder Sandstorm Titan come down, and then we're gonna have probably 1 or 2 turns to top deck a Death Strike. So Lumen Defender getting a little frisky. You don't see that very often. Now, granted, this Lumen Defender is not your average Lumen Defender. This is a 4/8.
The Steward of the Past actually helps super well here, and now with the Steward of the Past thrown away to stock the Lumen Defender, life now looks a lot worse.
Yeah, Titan is gonna dominate this board. And
no,
second number, actually, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, all right, we're on
Reaper actually keeps him alive because
he could double chump.
Valorj can't attack into this.
It's actually kind of interesting because he could have. Well, he can't really attack. If you attack, you just get a 5-point swing. But he can like attack next turn, and then he just wins the game, right?
Does he?
Actually, hold up.
Because
yeah, he certainly does. So okay, because they just die. They're X1, and here he just needs to double chump in such a way that he doesn't die. Because the idea is that the Death Rattle trigger, or sorry, not Death Rattle, the Entomb triggers from the Umbran Reapers happen after damage.
Yeah, I think it's actually game.
Yeah, it's game. Yeah, that's a good draw of a second Umbran Reaper. Yeah. I don't know. That was a weird race. Like, I did not expect this to be that kind of race, Yeah.
The second Umbran Reaper actually helped significantly with winning because
I mean, it didn't help. I mean, it directly won in the game,
Yeah.
There's no assistance going on here.
All right.
Yeah, I think all right. So deck lists are going up. On our end, we're gonna see how the players approach sideboarding directly as well. Let me pull up their deck list really quick.
All right. So on Shed sideboard, we have Flail, Ruin, Sabotage. I can see. So on Shed's list, I would probably bring in the Maiden. The Maidens are super strong for.
The Statuary Maiden. Yeah, Statuary Maiden insanely good against time decks in general. I think.
I'm kind of hesitant on the Furnace Mage because there is obvious I mean I guess you have
I would not be
targets.
Yeah, I'm bringing in Furnace Mage, Statuary Maidens. I like Annihilate as well. Smuggler Stash is interesting. Is a Stone Scar Maul, Black Sky Harbinger. Okay. I guess it's a question of what do we. So still on the Felnscar side, what are your cuts? Like what cards are you looking to take out of the deck? I feel like Lightning Storm is not great.
Lightning Storm's not great against this iteration, I guess, mainly because the False Princes.
It directly counters Scouting Party, but outside of that, it basically does nothing.
Yeah.
So you have to ask yourself, what type of game am I playing? Am I trying? I feel like he's the beatdown in the matchup. Like as you saw from those games, he was just straight trying to race, like just kill your guy, attack.
My opinion is actually the matchup's kind of very draw dependent because both of them can have a really blazing early start versus because you could on the Felnscar side you can still have our Instigator into Champion, and that's still a super strong start. That the Shimmer side will have to actually play very reactively to. Because there's no good way to interact with the 5/5 trample, the overwhelm deadly.
That's fair. Yeah, it's definitely one of the best cards. I feel like. Oh, for the next. Okay, yeah. I think we're good. I would take out Cabal Countess. I feel like Cabal Countess is one of his weakest cards.
The Countess feels super weak.
Once you ultimate it, it has a very reasonable shot at attacking, but just in general, having an X1 for 3 against Shimmerpack feels a bit loose. They just have so many filler blockers. And even when you ultimate it, you're putting 7 mana into it. It just gets chump blocked.
Yeah.
And then, so from the Shimmerpack end, let's take a look at his sideboard really quick. He has an Infinite Hourglass, 4 Permafrost on the board, Backlash, or so everything else is a 2-of. Backlash, Teleport, Decay, Scorpion Wasp, and Lumen Defender. What do you like here?
I like the Lumens.
You like the Lumens?
I like I actually, to be honest, no, I know I like the Wasps. The Wasps are super useful. I kind of like Permafrost.
I feel like Permafrost is great with the threats that he presented in game 1. Permafrost looked excellent.
Permafrost looks excellent against Reapers. I would
Yeah.
I kind of like Wasp, like a mixture of some Wasp, Teleport, and Defender. But we're in game 2 now, so.
Okay. Yeah, it's game's up. All right.
All right. As I mentioned from a previous
Ooh, this
reading the chat, it was actually corrected Torch because there was a Obelisk Scout which made the Frog a 2/2.
Ah, I see. I missed that. I'm sorry. That's a good point. Although honestly, even if the Frog is a 2/2 though, you still downgrade it for Var's favor. I think that Var's favor should have been cast. So. Anyways, this is a very rough draw from Valorj. Like, extremely rough. That Reinarch is gonna have to do some work, you know. Oh, this is Sandstorm Titan. That's probably one of the best draws of this deck. And then for here, Shed is just gonna be looking to curve out.
Curve out.
Yeah, he is a very good draw. This is probably one of the best draws of this deck. I guess it doesn't really matter which influence he plays. I think he just jammed Champion of Chaos on curve, right?
I think you want to play Shadow and jam Champion Chaos specifically.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could play Shadow the next turn, but I suppose you could just play Primal when you need to. Oh, contrary. Because, you know, I would expect Sandstorm Titan on 4. That's probably the best thing that Valorj could play. And Champion of Chaos threatens the trade next turn. So I'm not really sure why you would play the 2/5. It just feels like you're kind of taking the wrong role. Oh,
that's,
wow.
That's number.
Post Sandstorm
Guys,
Titan
you're on
attacks.
stream. You can't punt like this.
Yeah, it is. Sandstorm Titan is a universal effect. All creatures lose flying, or all units rather. So that includes yours. But you know, honestly, that's again, it's like the turn. It's like the game 1 tap, depleted power, because it probably shouldn't matter much. That's just a 1/1, but it is, you know, more embarrassing than anything else. So Saturated Maiden getting bounced back to hand. What's interesting about Saturated Maiden here is that his hand, Shed's hand, has no removal. Okay, now he has Torch, but it had no removal. So the card probably, you know, it's scarier to Valorj than it actually is going to be right now. But
I think you seek power on at least.
Yeah, you just seek power, probably cast Saturated Maiden. You could also just cast Champion and then try to set up Saturated Maiden plus Torch.
I think
I like that better.
Yeah, I like having Champion out and threatening Torch with whatever.
Yeah, you just feel a lot safer having Torch on his turn.
Yeah.
Oh, Seed of Wisdom, a little awkward, but honestly, I mean, his hand is shaped up nicely. He's basically drawn straight spells. You know, he's only drawn 1 additional power, and he had a 5 power opener. So, you know, throw in like 3 power on top of his deck, and this could be a very dire game.
I like that in turn to for the Wasp.
Yeah. Playing the Obelisk here can't be correct. That seems gonna lose. So he's gonna offer the.
No, he should not.
He doesn't want to give a cudgel. Yeah,
he knew about the Torch because when he pressed it in turn, there was a pause waiting for fast spells, and the only spell you can be playing fast spell is Torch in this scenario.
I mean, well, I was gonna say like technically you have like Levitate or Rapid Shot, but yeah. Oh wait, no, they have Deckless. Yeah.
Yeah.
So completely true. It's interesting though because even if he knows about Torch, Torch is still going to be great here, and this Crystallize is not pushing enough damage for me to think he's going to really get that much out of it. Honestly, how do you feel about that Crystallize? Because
I mean, that's probably one of the better Crystallizes he's going to get because he needs to start like stopping the bleed damage because like he's super low and the next turn was going to just look super ugly if he didn't Crystallize there.
Yeah, he is kind of getting demolished, but to the same degree, Scouting Party into Crystallize is a very appealing sequence. That easy permafrost here. I imagine it's just attacks and then cast Scouting Party, and then we have the Shimmerpack on curve, and hopefully that's good enough to win him the game. I imagine there's gonna be some chump blocking this turn, and those chump blocks turn into cudgels. So that's Avara's favor too.
Oh, the Avara's favor is super. Oh, I think that actually puts.
Well, that's just gain 10. He didn't. He meant no attacks.
That's interesting.
Bizarre, yeah.
I would have thrown at least something in.
Yeah, that's strange. Okay, so what that did though is that gave Valorj a lot of room. Because now Valorj can set up Shimmerpack with Zen and Obelisk God. If he draws a power this turn, that could just be game over. And see, this Varus favor now doesn't even kill a Yeti. Yeah, that Infernal Tyrant. I was not feeling that.
I feel like that should have been an attack turn and try to get something in.
Yeah, I guess he's trying to take the control role with his Fountain Bloodcaster activations, but that's not going to work out for him long term. Also, what do you think? I think I just block with Wasp here, right?
Actually, I
Just
would.
give him a cudgel. Just like accept it. Like Champion of Chaos is going to be like insane against you no matter what.
I think I would have like set up for just have.
Just
I
no
personally wouldn't have
blocks.
blocked. I would just transformed everything into Shimmers and like just jammed it in.
Okay, just downgrade the champion, I guess. Because
Yeah,
it just becomes a
downgrade the champion
4/4.
because like you have the champion coming in anyways. Giving him like equipment is like feels super suboptimal.
Yeah, and you're right. And thanks to the overwhelmed damage too, he didn't really save any life at all either.
He saved one life.
He saved one life, and he like traded a potential Shimmerpack for.
Yeah.
All right, so here, interesting. I guess that guy is a cudgel. I would have downgraded the Bloodcaster as well because
I don't like downgrading the Bloodcaster honestly because it would transform into because it still has the cudgel. It'll turn into a 6/6, which is stronger than all your Shimmerpacks.
Well, it's still a 4/7.
Right
it
now
still bounces.
with the 4/7, it's like they bounce, which is a bit better than him just freely eating a Shimmerpack and then swinging back for 6, right?
Yeah, but he still has double blocks, and moreover, Found Bloodcaster Ultimate could swing this game.
I think the game's about to end in a very short amount of time because he kept the Argent port for damage from like.
Well, here's the activation. Yeah, I guess you're right. I don't know what I'm thinking. Oh, you sit on 4 power. Well, okay, we're gonna see a game 3. If things went as I see it, he'd be totally in this game. No, he is dead on board, and he is now super dead on board.
Because even if my opinion was that even if he did activate the Bloodcaster, he still needed a turn to like get value off the Bloodcaster, like drawing something important.
Correct. Yeah. So you're certainly right about Shimmerpacking. Yeah. But honestly, it was the Infernal Tyrant turn that kind of put him in that spot. Like just running no attacks.
Yeah. That felt super. That feels super wrong.
See here, I think what you do that turn is you just swing out, right? You just attack with everything.
Mm-hmm.
So you attack with everything, obviously. But then what you do is you on the next, like after combat, you play the Infernal Tyrant. It'll sweep away a few of your things, maybe, if he, blocked with Yetis in a certain way. But honestly, Infernal Tyrant, at that point, I don't think he's going to be blocking specifically to make your Infernal Tyrant worse. And moreover, the life swing should, swing back. Because what he might do is he might go to, like, let's say, he blocks in such a way to present lethal on the crackback and go to, like, 3, right? And then Infernal Tyrant swings you back to 13, and then you just narrowly don't die.
Yeah, so, that felt.
Yeah, he did it so quickly too. That was interesting about it because he's just like snap Infernal Tyrant pass, and you're just like, wait a minute, weren't you winning?
Like you press the pedal to the metal when you're winning.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
well, again, I just think his role system's a bit off. Like again, like playing turn 3 Found Bloodcaster instead of Champion, that caused him to lose quite a bit of damage because the Champion would have either traded with the Titan immediately, or just gotten free hits in. And if it trades with Sandstorm Titan, you're very happy because
like even if you play the Tyrant, wouldn't you want to attack first? I guess he was scared of the Shimmer turn, but
I think he's scared of the Shimmer turn, and also there's the idea that again, if you attack first with the Titan, what happens is it can kill off your injured units from combat. Like let's say he chumps with some Yetis, and then you have X-Force, and then the Infernal Tyrant pings them off. Yeah. But at the same degree, like that play, it was just a losing play. Like it's just.
I felt like you didn't even need to play the Inferno. You're just so far ahead on board, even if you did have the Shimmer.
I mean, you didn't want him to have the Shimmer, like no doubt. But yeah, no, I totally don't agree with that. And then we're watching them sideboard right now. Yeah, mostly minor tweaks. He went down to 1 Scorpion Wasp.
Actually, I think if he attacked, there was still an Argent Port in play, so trumping wouldn't have saved him life, anyways. So
well, it saves him. It does save him something, not from the Champion, but for the others.
Yeah,
this looks like a great hand. He's redrawing this hand. That hand looked great. It was very reactive, but I mean, compare that hand to this. This hand is. We're on the Lightning Storm Ruin plan. We got to knock the top of the deck, and then Valorj
the other. Also,
a good draw. Garbage. No, it's not. I mean, it's not great, but I wouldn't say hot garbage. That's a little harsh. Also, choosing to get.
Both of them have a very interesting hand, actually.
He's kind of
play double time.
Yeah, just double time. I'm not sure. What does he have for double primal? This is interesting.
Interesting.
Is he tricking himself that because he has 3 primal cards, he needs to get double primal?
I mean,
he got paid out. Whatever. It doesn't matter. He top decked the second time. So The Feln Bloodcaster was indeed a great draw because he already has 7 power between the Seek power and the 3 others. So we will see an ultimate this game, God willing. So Praxis Displacer looks... I imagine you just cast it. I mean, this isn't a great Praxis Displacer, but your alternative is just go. Permafrosting... There's a Permafrosting, like, yeah, I don't like this play. I feel like this is one of the only units in his deck that Permafrost is not great against.
I mean, like, this is the only unit that like removal in general is not great against.
Yeah, well, honestly, I mean, I guess the idea is he has Permafrost, Polymorph, Permafrost. So for him, he's just like, yeah, I'm just going to cast it. I don't really care. But I think in the long term, and especially if he knew, I mean, if he knew how threat light his hand was too, there's a lot to be gained from just holding on removal. Especially because what, you're getting hit for 2? I mean, it's just, it doesn't really matter. But anyways, this is going to be a very interesting game because as you can kind of tell, nothing is happening. So you get a Polymorph on a Sewer of the Past.
Get ready for the long haul, guys. We're going to be here for...
Okay, no. It's a Praxis Displacer. How do you feel about Polymorph, by the way, like in this case? Also, there was a bit of pause there as well, so he can tell you something, although Ruin would not be my first guess.
Oh, yeah, no, my guess would be like having a Torch there right now.
Yeah, Torch is usually just what you think it is.
I think it was okay to hold out the Poly because Poly is definitely going to be used on something like Champion of Chaos.
Yeah, it's hard removal. That's true. Oh, here we go. Yeah, Champion of Chaos. But yeah, that's true. But he's selling to Permafrost as well. I'm just curious. In his threat base, is there anything that like Polymorph truly gets that Permafrost does not? I guess Statuary Maiden. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Well, this is not. Yeah.
Yeah, that felt bad.
That ruin was he got ruined.
And now you play the Poly.
I mean, like I would, but that's in the idea that he doesn't know about ruin, so that's fine. It's not like he doesn't see the stream. We see the stream. So
I think you'd expect him to like board in, expect Shed to board in Furnace Mage, but not board in like extra ruins.
Yeah, and there's also the idea that he has to have it as well. So even if you're like, he could conceivably have a ruin, like I said, him having Torch and not casting it makes a ton of sense.
All right. Now
but even with that disastrous exchange, this Lumen Defender is still holding down the fort. Like, this is going to be a long game regardless. And we have the Feln Bloodcaster, which actually hit extremely good cards. Because what he can do is he can Praxis. So this game is slow enough to the point where this may be the play, right? Praxis Displacer, your own Bloodcaster, replay it, ultimate it again. What do you think of that line?
Yeah, you don't. The only other target right now is Lumen, and you don't want to really practice a Lumen. It doesn't feel good.
Yeah, it's pretty useless practicing the Lumen. And then for here, he can't offer the trade of the Lumen because it's basically the only thing he has going on.
Yeah.
And also a note, he kept Lightning Storm in. He's getting paid off here because, as I said, Lightning Storm is a card except for Scouting Party, which it utterly demolishes. I think what he's doing. I think what Valorj is doing, he's playing around Lightning Storm right now. He's going to wait till he draws Zenon Obelisk and then play out the Scouting Party with 8s.
Yeah. There's no good reason to run out the Scouting Party now if it's not going to get like immediate value.
Yeah, and also, I mean, Scouting Party, and even like, ignoring the possibility of Lightning Storm, does not attack very well right now at all. And you can't really push significant tempo. So he's finally offering the trade. I wonder if is he going to go for the after box teleport on his own guy? No. Okay, he's not losing that badly, but if he was like getting like demolished, it'd be an option. Does he see the line?
We're going for the long haul.
We're going the long game. I like it. That's what this game is. So we're gonna see a second Bloodcaster ultimate.
Oh. Yeah, on Valorj's hand.
Yeah, he just has to cast Shimmerpack. Yeah, he has to play not Shimmerpack, sorry, he has to cast Scouting Party now.
Which will get
got nothing else to do. Yeah, I guess you just gassed him. I mean, you lose Praxis Displacer, but
yeah, losing Praxis Displacer isn't even that bad.
No, it's not really bad at all. I'm just
how Valorj says, like, what do you do? Teleport to the Yeti spot?
Yeah, like, man. Feels bad. Draw a Yeti spot.
Feels bad.
Yeah, teleport's really bad, and then he.
Oh no.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh.
Yeah,
no,
I got nothing. I mean.
Now things are looking very dire for Valorj.
Yeah, Time Sigil was well, there was no draw in his deck, but if there was, it would not have been Time Sigil. So we're gonna see a Scouting Party win the game, just not from
not the side you expect the Scouting Party to be on.
Yeah, it's good. Teleport's good. He's just like, yep.
Shimmerpack.
Oh, so he drew it. All right.
That's
End turn. It's all right. He didn't even want to cast it. He's just like, he's had enough.
I feel so bad because it's only Shimmerpack in his deck too.
Yeah.
Or,
I mean, you
double
can
check
cast it and then like transform 2 and then still die. That's probably what I would have done. Maybe he'll just deck out, right? Look how many cards he's drawing.
No, it's over.
I know. I'm being facetious. That was an interesting game. Feln Bloodcaster basically just won in that game. That was gross. I mean, he was ahead anyways, but the fact that he was able to draw 4 cards off his excellent blocker and eat a permafrost as well. Yes, we're post game reviewing Shed's deck list.
Okay. I'm looking at Sheds right now. I need to pull
So yeah, it's an interesting deck. When I was first looking at it, I was like, it's a control deck, right? But it's probably a bit more mid-rangey than anything.
It's actually like it looks like when you look at Felnscar, the first thing you think is like, oh, it's like usually trying to like play like Magic's Jund decks where it's like mid-rangey, and it's like that's kind of how he built it, really. The Bloodcasters give him like really nice late game, and the Countesses are super strong early as well. So like he has every angle covered, really.
See, I feel like the Countess is the odd card out. I'm not even sure. Like I would play the 4th Bloodcaster before I played a first Countess. Like Bloodcaster is just such a good card. Like you saw what it did there in all the games. It's just against like Rakano, for example, it blocks very well. Against Shimmerpack, it blocks basically everything, and then the ultimate is very relevant. It prevents it. Like basically, the card is going to be either like a B to like an A+ based on the matchup.
Yeah.
Or not really. I don't think it's ever an A+, but 2/5 is good against aggro, and a beater that draws cards late game is good against slower decks. Whereas with the Countess, there's just like too many chinks. Like again, it's just I don't like X1s in this game. Has been my policy. Like, again, cards like Var's favor. Like we were joking about Dinomancer earlier, which was in the Strangers deck we were looking at. But it is a serious cost in this game where you play out. Cabal Countess has ambush at least, but whenever you get your Cabal Countess picked off by Var's favor or trumped by O2s or whatnot, you just feel pretty bad.
I personally really like the Countess for like just the fact that it does have ambush, because you're in like Shadow doesn't really get ambush, like neither does like the rest of the like Primal gets some ambush, but like Felnscar usually doesn't get like good ambush cards, and like surprising people with ambush is usually can always be like a very strong play. However, because like Countess also like eats up a creature really well, because like trading up to 4 power. And
all
right.
Yeah. So that's it for that game. I think it was not a straightforward game. Game 3 was pretty interesting, but ultimately the Shimmerpack player was kind of wildly outdrawn. His draw was pretty poor and very reactive. So
rip game 3.
Yeah, game 3 was there's some interesting things like the friendly wisp Titan interaction, but ultimately those things sort of didn't really matter. It was all about like powerful plays.
Anyways, thank you for joining us on a wonderful, fairly interesting game to watch instead of round 1, which was a stomp and a slightly less stomp.
I mean, but round 1, it had heart.
Yeah,
Round 1 had heart. If nothing else, it had heart. Anyways, we'll be back with round 3 in a bit. Stay tuned, guys. Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.